Money has a way of showing people for what they really are.
Give somebody nothing,
and you might get their heart.
give somebody everything.
And sometimes you lose their respect. I've learned to watch what people do when there's something to lose. That's where the truth lives.
I remember broke days counting coins on the table, trying to build a future when the present wasn't stable. Had a little ambition in a head full of plans, but nobody around me really knew what I had. People love success, but they don't love the pressure. They want the final picture, never ask about the struggle. They'll congratulate you once the money starts to grow, but disappear when you're broke and nobody knows. I watched friendships change when the numbers got bigger, watch smiles turn cold when the vision got clearer. Some people want a piece before they know the recipe. Some people call you brother just to get access to your energy. So I learned to keep my business far away from conversation. Everybody doesn't need to know your destination. Move quiet, work hard, let the results make noise, and never let somebody else decide what you enjoy.
Cash can't buy loyalty.
Money can't make it real.
You can fill somebody's pockets,
But you can't control how they feel.
cash can't buy loyalty.
That's a lesson I know.
When the money disappears,
Watch who refuses to go. I've seen people switch sides over things that don't matter. A little bit of money and the whole bond gets shattered. Suddenly the handshake feels colder than before. Suddenly the same person isn't knocking at your door. That's why I don't measure friendship by possessions. I measure it by presence when the world brings pressure. Who answers your call when there's nothing to celebrate? Who sits beside you when you're staring at your mistakes? That's the kind of person you protect with your life. Not because they're perfect, but because they never lied. They told you when you're wrong, they never fed your ego. And when the road got dark, they never used you as a scapegoat. I've learned that money is a tool, not an identity. It can change your situation, but it can't change your history. You can buy a better car, put diamonds on your wrist, but if nobody trusts you, then what the hell is all of this? Money shows what money shows what money shows what people want. Pressure shows who they are. Pressure shows who they are. Success shows who was watching. Loyalty shows who stayed. Now I move different, I don't chase every opportunity. Sometimes the biggest blessing is protecting your security. I don't need every dollar if it costs me my peace. I don't need every friend if they only come when I eat. I've seen ambition turn somebody into a stranger. Seen greed make people walk straight into danger. That's why I keep perspective when the numbers start rising, because nothing feels successful if your soul is compromising. I want a life where the people around me are sincere, where the ones I call family don't disappear when trouble's near, where the money serves the vision instead of running my mind, where success doesn't force me to leave the real ones behind. So if tomorrow brings fortune, I'll remember where I came. Same heart, same principles, just a different kind of game. And if everything disappears, I still know what I got. The people who stayed with me when I had nothing at all.
cash can't buy loyalty.
Money can't make it real.
You can fill somebody's pockets,
But you can't control how they feel.
cash can't buy loyalty.
That's a lesson I know.
When the money disappears,
Watch who refuses to go.
cash can't buy loyalty.
So I never let it leave. I'd rather have a few real ones than 1,000 people chasing greed. Money comes, money comes, money comes. But when everything disappears, you better know who's still standing beside you. Beside you, 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 beside you. Money go, money go, money go, money go, money go.
They only see the results. Nobody saw the nights when I questioned everything. Nobody saw the mornings when getting up felt impossible. They see the confidence now. They don't remember where it came from.
They never saw the nights.
Yeah.
They never saw the night. 3 in the morning, city lights cutting through the blinds. Another night of thinking about the things I left behind. I hear the same old voice telling me to take another road, saying life would be easier if I carried a lighter load. But I've heard that voice before, it always sounds reasonable.
Wait until tomorrow, let somebody else go first.
You've already done enough, that's how people disappear from their own dreams. Not overnight, one excuse at a time, one compromise, one promise broken when nobody was watching. So I stopped asking if the road was comfortable. I started asking if it was worth walking. Feet hit the flow, head stays focused. No announcement, no permission, just movement, 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 movement.
They never saw the nights,
They only see the man,
they never saw the pressure,
they only see the plan.
they never saw the failure.
That taught me how to stand, everybody sees the finished picture.
Nobody sees the hands,
They never saw the nights,
they never saw the cost.
kept building through the silence.
Even when I thought I lost.
I learned that being strong doesn't mean you never been. Sometimes strength is knowing when to stop pretending. If the plan isn't working, change the plan. If the circle isn't solid, change the circle. If you're chasing something empty, ask yourself why you're running. That's not weakness,
That's awareness.
I watch people destroy themselves trying to prove they fearless. I watch pride turn small problems into permanent scars. I watch friendships disappear because nobody wanted to admit they were wrong. I don't want that life.
I want control.
Control over my reactions.
Control over my direction.
Control over what gets access to my mind. Because the world will always have something to say. Someone will always doubt you. Someone will always misunderstand the road you're taking. Let them. You don't need everybody to understand the mission. You just need enough discipline to keep walking, 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 walking. No, 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 no explanation. No performance. No approval. Keep moving. No, 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 no explanation. No performance. No approval. Keep
Most
moving.
victories don't look like victories while they're happening. Sometimes they look like getting up when nobody will blame you for staying down. Sometimes they look like walking away from people you still care about. Sometimes they look like saying no, when saying yes would be easier. That's the part nobody posts.
Nobody photographs the boring discipline. Nobody celebrates the decision to stay focused. Nobody hears the conversation happening inside your head.
But that's where everything changes.
Not when the crowd is watching, when you're alone, when nobody would know if you quit. That's when character gets written. One decision becomes another, another becomes a habit becomes identity, and eventually the person you were trying to become becomes the person you are. So when they ask how you changed, don't give them a speech.
Tell them about the nights, tell them about the mornings, tell them about every moment you wanted to stop and didn't. That's the story, not talent, not luck, not perfect circumstances. Just somebody who kept showing up long enough for the impossible to become normal.
They never saw the nights, they only see the man.
They never saw the pressure,
They only see the plan.
they never saw the failure.
That taught me how to stand, everybody sees the finished picture.
Nobody sees the hands,
They never saw the nights,
they never saw the cost.
kept building through the silence.
Even when I thought I lost. Now they see the result, but I remember every step. Nobody has to understand your journey. You just have to be honest about the work. Keep showing up. Eventually, the life you imagine starts looking like your reality.
Everybody remembers the nights when things went right.
Nobody remembers the nights when everything was falling apart. That's when you learn something important.
People don't always leave because they hate you. Sometimes they leave because they were never built to walk through the storm with you. I remember cold nights, city lights on the pavement, dreams in my head, but the struggle kept changing. Every year brought another lesson to the table. Had to learn how to survive before I learned to be stable. People talk big when the future looked bright, then disappeared when the pressure arrived. I watched friendships fade over dollars and pride. Watch people people change faces depending who's by their side. I never needed many, I just needed a few people who could look me in the eyes and tell the truth. People who stayed close when there wasn't nothing to gain, who could see me at my lowest and still remember my name. That's the difference between company and loyalty, between somebody near you and somebody who believes you can fill up a room and still feel alone, or have one real person and feel right at home.
The ones who stay,
That's who I remember through the cold nights, through the worst December.
the ones who stay,
Never needed recognition, they were there when I was struggling. That's real commitment.
the ones who stay,
That's who I remember. That's who ones.
the ones who stay.
That's who I remember. That's real commitment. I've seen people disappear when the road got rough. Funny how a friend can become a stranger when it's tough. No warning, no explanation, just distance in the air. That's when you stop chasing and accept they weren't there. I don't hold grudges, I just change the way I move. Every disappointment gives you something you can use. Some lessons hurt badly, but they sharpen your eyes. Now I see through the smile before I listen to the lies. I remember empty pockets, remember doubt in my head. Remember all those nights when I couldn't sleep in my bed, thinking how to make tomorrow better than today, while everybody else was telling me to find another way. But I stayed with the vision even when nobody cared. Built confidence slowly from the moments that I shared. Every setback put another layer underneath. Now the pressure doesn't scare me, it just brings out the beast. When everything falls, watch you stay. When nothing remains, watch you stay. Now I don't confuse attention with respect. I don't confuse a promise with somebody's intent. If you say it beside me, then prove it when it's hard, because words mean nothing when the pressure pulls apart. I don't need revenge on anybody who betrayed me. Their own decisions already gave me what they gave me. I just took the lesson and continued on my road. Dropped the weight from my shoulders, stopped carrying what I own. Some people belong in your past for a reason. Some people disappear when they finish what they needed, and some people stay beside you without asking for a thing. Those are the people I protect when the whole world starts to spin, because life is complicated. People change as seasons turn, but the ones who stay beside you are the ones you don't forget. You can lose a lot of money, lose a lot of things, but one real connection can be worth everything.
The ones who stay,
That's who I remember through the cold nights, through the worst December.
the ones who stay,
Never needed recognition, they were there when I was struggling. That's real commitment.
the ones who stay,
When the whole world walks away, those are the names
the ones who stay,
that I carry every day. That's real commitment. When the lights go out, you'll know who's real. When the lights go out, you'll know who's
the
real.
ones who stay,
Never needed to say it.
the ones who stay.
Never needed to say it. I used to think loyalty was something people carry naturally.
Then I watch money change friendships. I watch fear change decisions. I watch people forget everything they promised. That's when I understood
Trust isn't something you give away.
it's something people earn.
That's the price of trust. Yeah, that's the price of trust. That's the price of trust. I remember nights when the block was barely breathing. Street lights on the pavement, everybody had a reason. Young minds looking forward, trying not to look behind, trying to make a little sense of all the chaos in their minds. I saw people make promises they never planned to honor. Talk about forever, then disappear by tomorrow. Everybody wants to call you family when you're winning, but when the pressure starts, that's when you see who's really with you. I kept my head down, never needed all the praise. Had to learn the hard way, people change in different ways. Some would shake your hand and still be hoping that you fall. Some would never say a word, but be there through it all. I learned to read the silence, learn to watch instead of speak. Learn that being strong don't mean you never feel weak. Every disappointment added something to my vision. Every broken promise helped me make a better decision.
That's the price of trust.
You don't know until it breaks.
That's the price of trust.
Every promise has a weight.
If you give your word,
Better stand behind the truth,
because once that bridge burns, there ain't nothing left to prove.
Yeah, I don't hate the ones who left, I just stopped expecting. People show their character when circumstances get threatening. Some become courageous, some become completely distant. Pressure has a funny way of changing people's instincts. I remember who was there when the cupboard's nearly empty, who stayed around when every day was feeling heavy. Those are names I carry with me, those are bonds I never question, because real ones don't disappear when life becomes a mess. I see people chase money like it solved every problem, then realize too late that the money never bought them peace inside their mind, loyalty loyalty around them. A full bank account means nothing when there's nobody around you. So I measure people differently than I did when I was younger. I don't care about appearances, I care about the hunger. I care about consistency, the things nobody sees. The way you treat somebody when there's nothing you can receive. Trust takes years to build something strong. One decision can destroy it all. Now I move with intention every step. Got a reason I don't open every door just because somebody's knocking. Some people bring confusion, some people bring direction. You learn to tell the difference through repeated observation. I don't need 100 friends, I need a handful that's sincere. People who don't disappear whenever trouble gets near. People who can tell me when I'm wrong instead of feeding my ego. That's the kind of loyalty that makes a real connection. And if somebody betrays me, I won't let it change my heart. I won't become the same thing that tore everything apart. I remember what it taught me. I carry what I learned, but I won't let somebody else's choices make my spirit burn. There's a difference between forgiveness and forgetting. You can let somebody go without reopening the connection. Sometimes walking away is the strongest thing you do. Not because you're scared of them, because you finally value you.
That's the price of trust.
You don't know until it breaks.
That's the price of trust.
Every promise has a weight.
If you give your word,
better stand behind the truth.
because once that bridge burns, there ain't nothing left to prove. That's the price of trust.
I learned it in the code. But some people show their colors when there's nothing left to hold. That's the price of trust. That's the price of trust. Trust isn't cheap. That's why I don't give it to everybody. And when somebody earns it, I don't take it lightly. I used to think every debt was money. Then I learned there are other kinds. Promises, favors, loyalty, mistakes. And sometimes the hardest debt to pay is the one you owe to yourself. I remember being young with a debt I couldn't measure. Everybody keeping score, nobody talking about pressure. One favor led to another, then another became three. Suddenly the things I did were controlling who I'd be. People say I got you when the moment feels easy. Then they remind you what they did when they need something from you. That's when the favor stops feeling like somebody helping you and starts feeling like a chain. I watch people stay trapped because they were scared to walk away. Scared that leaving meant betraying everything they claim. But sometimes loyalty becomes another word for fear. When you're only staying because you don't know how to disappear. I had to make a choice, keep paying for old mistakes, or finally build something that belonged to me.
What I owed was more than money.
I owe myself a life
that wasn't built on running. What I owed was peace of mind.
I had to leave the past
before the past became my life.
I remember every promise that I made when I was younger, trying to keep everybody happy while the pressure became stronger. One person wanted loyalty, another wanted favors. Everybody wanted something, nobody asked about the damage. I started losing sleep, started questioning myself. Was I being loyal, or was I just afraid to disappoint people? That's when I realized something. You can spend your whole life proving you're loyal to people and still lose yourself. So I started saying no, not disrespectfully, not angrily, just no. And some people hated me for it. That's how I knew I needed to do it, because the moment you set a boundary, the people who benefited from having none are usually the first ones to complain.
Old debt, old names, old promises, new direction.
What I owe,
What I owe, what I owe,
what I owe,
what I owe,
what I owe,
what I owe, what I owe,
what I owe.
Old debt, old name, old promises, new direction. Walking away wasn't easy. I lost people, I lost connections, I lost opportunities, but I gained something I couldn't buy: control. I could finally decide where my life was going. No more letting somebody else's expectations dictate my choices. No more feeling guilty for protecting my future. No more confusing sacrifice with self-destruction. I still remember where I came from. I still respect the people who helped me. I still carry gratitude for the ones who stood beside me. But gratitude doesn't mean I owe somebody my entire future. That's the lesson. You can appreciate what someone did for you without becoming their prisoner. You can forgive somebody without giving them access again. You can
can love where you came from and still choose to leave it behind. The hardest debt I ever paid wasn't money, it was the version of myself that thought survival meant staying loyal to everything that was hurting me. I paid that debt and I walked away.
What I owed was more than money.
I owe myself a life.
That wasn't built on running. What I owed was peace of mind.
I had to leave the past,
for the past became my life. What I owed,
I finally paid. Now I walk forward
with nothing left to say. Some debts aren't meant to be carried forever. Sometimes you pay them by letting go.
what I owe, 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 what I owe.
Everybody talks about loyalty until loyalty cost them something. I seen people change for money, I seen friends disappear when the pressure got real, but that's life. You learn who stands beside you, what you bring when there's nothing left to gain. The game, that's the game. I came up with the weight of the world on my shoulders. Young mind, old soul, trying to make it through the coldest. Every night taught me something I can never learn in school. Every person showed me something about the nature of the rules. I watched friends turn distant when the money came around. Watched big talk disappear when the pressure hit the ground. Everybody says they're real until reality arrives. Then you see who's really standing and who's changing sides. I kept my word, even when keeping it was painful. Never needed fake respect or a room full of strangers. I learned to keep my plans locked deep inside my chest, because sometimes saying less is how you protect what's next. I ain't angry at the people who decided they could leave. They gave me information that I needed to receive. Now I move with better vision, every step a little wiser. You can fool me once, but you won't get another try here. No second chances. But once the trust is gone, you can say you're sorry, but the damage still lives on. No second chances. I remember what you showed. Some doors closed forever when you choose the road you chose. I remember empty nights when the city felt enormous, trying to build something real while the pressure stayed enormous. No one saw the preparation, only noticed when it worked. Nobody saw the sleepless nights or how deep I had to search. Now they wanna know the story, wanna know where I began, but they weren't around when I was trying to become a man. They weren't there for every failure, every doubt, every mistake. They just showed up when they saw something they could take. That's why I don't confuse attention with respect, and I don't confuse a promise with a person's true intent. Actions speak louder when the conversation ends. That's how you separate the strangers from the ones you call friends. I keep my circle small, not because I'm full of hatred. I just learned that real loyalty is something that is sacred. If you stand beside me, I'll remember when it's hard, and if you walk away, don't expect another start. You can't fake years. You can't fake loyalty. You can't fake years. You can't rewrite what somebody already showed you. You can't already showed you. Yeah. Now I'm looking at the city from a different kind of angle. Every scar became a lesson, every loss became a sample. I don't need to prove my worth to anybody with an opinion. I survived enough storms to understand my own position. Let them talk about the past. I already know the story. I don't need to hide the struggle just to make the picture pretty. Everything I went through put another layer on me. Now the man that stands today is everything they couldn't stop me from becoming. I don't chase revenge, that's a road without an ending. I'd rather take the energy and put it toward ascending. Build another level, make another move, keep progressing. Turn every disappointment into another harder lesson. If tomorrow brings another test, I face it with composure. I've been standing in the rain, I know exactly what exposure feels like. When the world decides to turn its back and leave you, but the strongest thing you build is what nobody can steal. Second chances. Once the trust is gone, you can say you're sorry, but the damage still lives on. No second chances. I remember what you showed. Some doors close forever when you choose the road you chose. No second chances. I don't carry hate. I just learned my lesson, and I won't repeat the same mistake. No second chances. Some lessons only come once, and some people only get one chance.
We started in the same place, same streets, same nights, same dreams.
But life doesn't give everybody the same ending. Some people find a way out, some people get lost trying. And sometimes the hardest part isn't surviving the street, it's surviving the people you grew up with. We started on the streets. We were young with big dreams and nowhere to put them. Talking about the future like the world couldn't touch us. Same corner, same laughter, same names on the wall. Didn't know growing older meant watching some fall. One chase money, one chase respect. One wanted out before the pressure hit his neck. I wanted something different, wanted more than survival, but wanting something better sometimes makes you a rival. People start comparing when the distance gets bigger. One starts moving forward and the other gets bitter. Small conversations turn into silent resentment. Nobody says what's wrong, but you feel the tension. I remember thinking we came from the same place. Why would you ever wanna see me lose? I learned the answer later. Sometimes your progress reminds somebody of everything they never did. Different roads,
Same beginning.
different choices, different endings, different roads.
Some stay,
Some left, I can't carry everybody.
I got enough weight myself.
different roads.
I still remember where we came from.
I got enough weight myself.
I got enough weight, I watched somebody I knew take a road I couldn't follow. Quick money looked attractive when tomorrow looked hollow. He said he had a plan, said he knew what he was doing, but every shortcut he took had another consequence waiting. I tried to tell him he didn't want advice. That's the thing about pride. Sometimes you don't want somebody helping you, you want somebody agreeing with you. Months went by, then the calls became less frequent. The stories got shorter, the excuses got longer, and eventually I heard he was blaming everybody around him. That's when I understood you can't save somebody who keeps choosing the same fire. You can care about them, you can remember them, but you can't live their life for them. So I kept moving, not because I stopped caring, because I finally understood the difference between helping somebody and destroying yourself trying to save them. We started in the same place. We started in the same place. We started in the same place. We started on the same street.
Same streets, different minds. Same history, different lives. Yeah.
Years later,
I still remember those faces.
some are doing better,
Some disappeared,
some disappeared.
some are still fighting the same battles, and some became exactly what they said they'd never become. That's life. You don't get to choose everybody's ending. You only get to choose your own. I learned to stop looking backward every time somebody changed direction. Because if you keep staring behind you, you miss what's happening in front of you. The street taught me awareness, failure taught me patience, betrayal taught me boundaries, and losing people taught me that being alone isn't always the same as being abandoned. Sometimes solitude is protection, sometimes distance is peace. Sometimes the best way to honor where you came from is to refuse to repeat it. I still remember the old days, I still remember the names, but I don't live there anymore. I carry the lessons, not the chains. And if somebody from the old days sees me now, I don't need them to understand the road I took. I just hope they find theirs. Because we started together, but we were never promised the same destination.
We started on the same street. We started on the same street.
Same beginning,
Different choices, different endings, different roads.
some stay, some left.
I can't carry everybody.
I got enough weight myself.
Different roads,
I still remember where we came from,
But I'm not going back.
just to prove where I belong.
Yeah. We started on the same street, but survival was never about staying there. Sometimes survival means finding a way beyond it.
we started on the same street.
The danger wasn't always outside.
Sometimes you were sitting right beside us, eating at the same table.
Knowing every plan, knowing every weakness. That's the problem with trust.
When you give somebody access to your life,
they learn exactly where to hurt you.
We used to move together, same corner, same nights, talking about getting out, trying to get our lives right. Everybody had a reason, everybody had a goal, but pressure changes people when the situation gets cold. I notice little things, but I never said a word. A conversation stopping every time I entered the room. Phones getting quiet, people changing their routines. Something felt different, but nobody wanted to speak. Then money disappeared from something we were building. Everybody pointed fingers, everybody started blaming. I looked at the faces, tried to read between the lines, and realized somebody close had been lying the whole time. That feeling hits different
When the person you trusted is the person you should've watched.
They
They knew too much.
That's what made it dangerous. They knew the plan.
They knew where the weakness was.
They knew too much.
And I couldn't ignore the signs. Sometimes the person next to you
It's the one you should watch behind.
is the one you should watch behind.
I didn't confront them screaming, I didn't need the drama, I just watched. Because when somebody lies, they eventually have to remember every lie they told. And that's where the story started breaking. One detail didn't match another, one excuse contradicted the last. Suddenly all those little moments started making sense. I remembered the nights he asked too many questions, remembered the places he didn't need to know about, remembered how he always wanted to know who was coming and who wasn't. Maybe I was wrong, maybe I wasn't, but trust was already damaged. And once doubt enters a room, it changes the temperature. That's the part people don't understand. Betrayal doesn't always destroy you immediately. Sometimes it teaches you to question everybody. Watch the silence, watch the eyes, watch the details. They always leave something behind. Watch the silence, watch the eyes, watch the details. They always leave something behind. They knew too much, they knew too much, they knew too much. They knew too much, they knew too much, they knew too much.
Eventually the truth came out. No movie ending, no dramatic speech, just facts. Money missing, stories changing, people finally admitting what they knew. And the hardest part wasn't losing him, it was realizing how long I had ignored the signs. That's a lesson that stays with you, because after betrayal, you don't become stronger by trusting nobody. You become stronger by learning who deserves your trust. I had to separate caution from paranoia. Had to understand that one person's choices
Don't define everybody else. The real ones were still there. The ones who didn't need to explain themselves. The ones whose stories never changed. The ones who showed up when nobody was watching. That's how I rebuilt the circle.
Smaller, wider, stronger.
no unnecessary faces.
No unnecessary information, just people whose actions match their words.
And the one who betrayed us.
I don't carry his name like a burden, I carry the lesson. Because sometimes betrayal doesn't end your journey.
It changes the way you walk it.
You stop moving blindly. You stop assuming everybody means well.
You start paying attention.
And sometimes that's how survival gets smarter.
They knew too much. They knew too much.
They knew too much.
That's what made it dangerous. They knew the plan.
They knew where the weakness was.
They knew too much.
And I couldn't ignore the signs. Sometimes the person next to you
It's the one you should watch behind.
they knew too much.
But now I know the game. I don't carry the betrayal.
I carry what he taught me. Trust doesn't disappear in one moment. It disappears one unanswered question at a time. And once you learn the difference, you never move the same again.
They knew too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Money looks different when you never had enough of it. People talk about loyalty until the rent is due, until somebody needs help, till there's something real to lose. That's when you find out who was standing beside you, and who was only standing there. Whenever the money ran out, more was swimming, well, but text for life. When the money ran out. I remember counting change just to make it through the night. Fridge almost empty, but we still kept the fire alive. Everybody had a plan, everybody knew the way, but nobody had an answer when the bills came every day. I saw desperate shit turn good people into strangers. Watch hunger make decisions that could put somebody in danger. Some chase quick money thinking it would solve the pain, but every shortcut came attached to another chain. I had people telling me we'll make it, just be patient. Then pressure hit the house and everybody changed positions. That's when I learned that promises don't mean a thing if the person saying them disappears. When reality begins, I stopped counting who was talking, started counting who was there. Because when everything gets heavy, that's when loyalty gets rare. When the money ran out, now who was still around, who stayed when I was down? When the easy roads appeared, who was willing to walk? That's when you learn the truth, people show you who they are. When the money ran out, now who was still around, who stayed when I was down? I watched somebody take a risk because the pressure got severe, knowing one bad choice could change everything for years. He said, I need a way out. I understood the feeling, but desperation doesn't care about the consequences you're creating. That's why I learned survival ain't about chasing every opportunity. Sometimes it's having enough discipline to say no, even when enough feels impossible. Everybody around you is moved back. I watch people make money, then lose themselves. Watch somebody finally get everything they wanted and still look empty. Because the streets can teach you how to survive, but they don't automatically teach you how to live. That's something you have to learn yourself. And sometimes that lesson comes after you've already lost something you can't replace. Pressure reveals who stays, who runs, who lies, who tells the truth. Pressure reveals who stays, who runs, who lies, who tells the truth. Pressure reveals who stays, who runs, who lies, who tells the truth. Pressure reveals who stays, who runs, who lies, who tells the truth. Years later, I still remember those nights, not because they were beautiful, because they were honest. Nobody had anything to prove, nobody had money to impress anybody. You could see the truth on people's faces. Some people were scared, some were angry, some were trying to hold their families together. So one decision away from changing everything. That's what survival looked like, not movies, not fantasy, just people trying to make it into morning. And betrayal wasn't always some dramatic moment. Sometimes it was somebody refusing to answer the phone. Sometimes it was somebody taking what wasn't theirs. Sometimes it was somebody choosing themselves after promising they never leave you behind. You learn from that. You stop expecting everybody to understand your struggle. You stop giving everybody access to your plans, and you start appreciating the people who stayed when there was absolutely nothing to gain. Those people changed my definition of loyalty, because real loyalty isn't loud. It doesn't need a speech, it shows up when the money runs out, when the lights go off, when everybody else disappears. That's when you know who was really there. When the money ran out, when the money ran out, who was still around? When the lights went off, who stayed when I was down? When the easy road disappeared, who was willing to walk? That's when you learn the truth, people show you who they are. When the money ran out,
I finally understood. Some people love the situation, some people love you for good.
But the money would disappear overnight.
Money can disappear overnight. People can disappear even faster. But the ones who stay when you have nothing, those are the ones you remember.
There are some names I don't say anymore. Not because I forgot them, because remembering everything names I don't say can keep you trapped in the same place where I come from. Survival wasn't about being the toughest. It was about knowing when to move and knowing who not to trust. Back when the nights felt longer than the days, we learned real quick that the streets don't play. Everybody had a story, everybody had a name, but one bad decision could change everything. I watch young brothers chase money too fast, trying to escape the future by repeating the past. Some wanted respect, some wanted a reputation, some couldn't tell the difference between pride and desperation. I remember empty pockets, cold food on the table, trying to stay focused when my life wasn't stable. Had people around me saying, brother, I got you. Then pressure hit the room and suddenly nobody knew you. That's when I learned, don't listen to what people promise, watch what they do. Cause words are cheap when nothing's on the line, and loyalty gets expensive when survival is involved.
Names
Some became family.
Some became December.
Names I don't say.
Lessons that remain.
You can walk away from people,
but you can't walk away from what they change.
I saw betrayal come from people I defended, people I would've trusted when the whole world ended. Funny how the closest ones can know where you're weak and use every secret that you told them when they speak. That's why I stopped telling everybody where I'm headed, stopped explaining every move before I ever made it. Keep your plans quiet, keep your circle smaller, cause everybody smiling ain't happy when you're getting stronger. I learned that survival isn't always about fighting. Sometimes it's leaving, sometimes it's silence, sometimes it's knowing somebody's dangerous and refusing to stand close enough to find out how dangerous. I've seen pride destroy friendships, I've seen jealousy destroy brothers, I've seen people trade years of loyalty for one moment of opportunity. That's the part nobody talks about. The street doesn't always take your life, sometimes it takes your trust, and that's harder to replace.
Watch your back, watch your back, watch your back, watch your back, watch your back. Watch your circle, watch your choices. Not everybody beside you is with you.
Names I don't say. Names I don't say. Names I don't say.
I've seen enough to know the difference now
Between somebody who fears you
and somebody who respects you,
between somebody who needs you
and somebody who values you,
between a friend and somebody waiting for the right moment to become an enemy. That's why I don't move angry anymore, I move aware. Every mistake taught me something, every betrayal sharpened something, every loss made me look twice. I don't glorify the streets, I remember them. The cold nights, the empty rooms, the people who disappeared, the ones who came home changed, the ones who never came home. That's survival. Not looking tough, not pretending you're fearless. It's waking up the next morning and still knowing who you are. I've carried enough memories to understand one thing: you can't save everybody, you can't trust everybody, and you definitely can't let somebody else's betrayal turn you into somebody you don't recognize.
so I keep moving.
Same city,
Different eyes,
same scars,
different mind,
and the names I don't say.
still taught me how to survive.
The games I don't say. The games I don't say.
I don't stay. Faces I remember.
Some became family.
Some became December. Things I don't say. Lessons that remain.
You can walk away from people,
But you can't walk away from what they changed.
names
Things I don't say.
still live inside my memory. Some taught me loyalty, some taught me what betrayal means.
I don't hate the past, I learned from it.
What's the difference?
You survived the streets,
But you don't have to let the streets live inside you forever.
that night I learned something about loyalty. You don't discover who your real people are when everything is going right. You discover them when everybody has a reason to leave. Inside the car, barely saying what we needed. We had plans for the night, nothing written, nothing certain, but everybody knew the pressure waiting underneath the surface. One of us kept checking the phone, one kept staring at the street, and I could feel something different in the silence between the seats. Nobody wanted to ask, nobody wanted to know, because sometimes asking the question makes the answer real. When the phone rang, a name appeared. He looked at me, didn't say anything. That's when I knew something had changed, and whatever happened next was going to change all of us, was going to change all of us. The last one leaving was the one I never forgot. When everybody disappeared, he stayed there on the spot. The ladder for the last one leaving. Didn't ask what he could gain. He stayed when And suddenly the whole night felt different. One person wanted to go, another wanted to wait. I said nothing, I was watching, cause every situation reveals bills people. One started making excuses, one started blaming everybody else, and one just stayed quiet. That's the one I remember, but he didn't make promises, didn't give a speech, didn't tell me he was loyal, he just stayed. Sometimes that's all you need, not somebody telling you they'll never leave. Somebody who proves it when leaving would be easy. No promises, no speeches, just presence, that's loyalty. Years pass. Years pass, people change. Some disappeared completely. Some came back, pretending nothing happened. But I never forgot that night. Cause it wasn't about what happened outside the car, it was about what happened inside us. Pressure showed everybody's character. One person ran, one person lied, one person stayed, and that was enough for me to understand everything. I've learned that loyalty isn't about standing beside somebody when they're winning. Anybody can do that. It's standing beside them when there's no reward, when the situation is uncomfortable, when nobody's watching, when staying could cost you something. That's when loyalty becomes real. I don't need 100 people around me, I need a few who don't change when the circumstances do. People who can disagree with me without becoming enemies. People who can tell me the truth without trying to destroy me. People who don't need to announce their loyalty, because their actions already said everything. That night ended, the rain stopped, the city woke up again. But I walked away knowing something I didn't know before. You don't find real people by searching for them. You find them when life gives them a reason to leave, and they don't. The last one leaves
Was the one I never forgot.
when everybody disappeared.
He stayed there on the spot.
The last one leaves.
Didn't ask what he could gain.
He stayed when everything was falling.
He stayed when everything was falling down.
That's how I learned the name. The last one to leave. That's the loyalty I trust, not the words somebody gives you, the actions that survive the dust. Anybody can say, but when the night gets cold, watch who stays. The last one,
When you have nothing, you learn real quick who you are. No money, no backup plan. No room for mistakes, just pressure. And the next decision, that's where survival gets real.
Cold morning, empty pockets, stomach feeling hollow. Had to make a move today because there wasn't a tomorrow. Phone ringing non-stop, everybody needing something, but nobody asking how I felt when the pressure started coming. I had responsibilities bigger than my age, had to learn how to stay calm when everything felt strange. Some nights I wanted out, wanted distance from the chaos, but you can't run forever when the problem knows where you are. I saw people make mistakes because they needed something quick, take a shortcut through the dark and get caught inside of it. I understood the temptation,
I understood the fear.
when you're backed against the wall, every bad choice can look like the answer. That's why I slowed down, thought twice, stayed patient. Because one desperate decision can create 10 more problems waiting.
Back against the wall, still I kept my head.
Saw the pressure, nobody saw the
Back
stress.
against the wall, had nowhere to hide.
I learned to survive the pressure
Without losing what's inside. Back against the wall,
but without losing. One of my closest brothers called me with a proposition, said there was easy money if I handle one small mission. I knew what he meant, didn't need the details. That's when I realized sometimes your biggest test comes from somebody you love. He said, you know I got you. I said, I know, but loyalty doesn't mean following somebody into a bad decision. That's where people get confused. You can love your brother and still tell him no. He got angry, called me scared, said I wasn't built for the life. Maybe I wasn't, but I'd rather be called scared than spend my life wishing I had walked away. A few months later, he was dealing with consequences I never wanted. I couldn't fix it, couldn't change it. All I could do was remember the choice I made. Sometimes survival looks like courage, sometimes it looks like saying no when everybody expects you to say yes. Pressure rises, choice is narrow, stay focused, don't lose yourself. Pressure pressure rises, choice is narrow, stay focused, don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself.
I've been backed against the wall enough times. I stopped being afraid of pressure. Pressure tells you things. It shows you who panics, who thinks, who disappears, who stays. And sometimes it shows you things about yourself you didn't want to see. I learned I'm not invincible. I learned I don't have all the answers. I learned asking for help isn't weakness. And I learned that surviving doesn't mean becoming cold. That's important, because you can live through ugly situations and still decide not to become ugly yourself. You can remember betrayal without becoming a betrayer. You can remember violence without becoming violent. You can remember poverty without letting desperation control every choice. That's what I'm proud of, not that I survived, but that I survived without losing everything that made me human. The wall was real, the pressure was real, the fear was real, but so was the choice. And every morning I wake up, I get another chance to make it.
Back against the wall, still I kept my head.
Everybody saw the pressure, nobody saw the
Back
stress.
against the wall, had nowhere to hide.
I learned to survive the pressure
without losing what's inside. Back against the wall,
but I refuse to break.
sometimes the strongest move is knowing what you won't take.
Pressure
Doesn't always destroy you. Sometimes it introduces you to the person you were capable of becoming.
Fear was always there. You just learn how to walk with it.
You couldn't afford to freeze. Couldn't afford to trust every smile. Couldn't afford to make the same mistake twice. I bet. Yeah. You either learn from yesterday, or yesterday became your future.
sun going down, another night starting. No neighborhood quiet, but the tension still talking. Everybody outside, everybody watching, trying to read the room before the trouble gets started. I knew some faces, I knew some names, but knowing somebody doesn't mean you know what they're capable of. That's the lesson I learned young. Never assume, never move careless, never let somebody else's confidence become yours. I watch people get comfortable around the wrong crowd, laughing like nothing could ever bring them down. Then one bad choice turned the whole situation, and suddenly everybody needed an explanation. I kept my head low, stayed focused, watched the exits, watched the people, because surviving isn't always about being fearless. Sometimes it's knowing exactly what you should be afraid of.
No room for fear, but fear still walks with me.
I learned to keep my eyes open
For the things I couldn't see. No room for fear, every choice has a price.
You can survive the pressure.
If you learn to think twice.
I had a friend who thought being hard meant never backing down. Every little disagreement had him ready to make a sound. I told him, man, pride ain't gonna keep you alive. He laughed, said I was thinking too much. Maybe he wasn't thinking enough. Months later he was gone from the neighborhood, not dead, just gone. He finally understood that sometimes the smartest move is walking away. That's something the young don't always understand. You don't have to win every argument, you don't have to answer every insult, you don't have to prove yourself to people who already decided what they think. Sometimes survival is swallowing your pride and making it home. That's the part nobody puts in the stories. The quiet decisions, the moments when you could have made everything worse and chose not to. Think first. Think first.
Move second. Live long enough to see tomorrow.
Think first. Think first. Think first. Years later, I understand those nights differently. Back then, I
I understand those nights differently. Back then, I thought survival meant being stronger than everybody. Now I know it means knowing yourself, knowing when you're angry, knowing when you're being manipulated, knowing when somebody wants you to make a decision that benefits them. That's real awareness. Because betrayal doesn't always come from an enemy. Sometimes it comes from somebody pushing you toward a choice they wouldn't make themselves. That's why I stopped moving on emotion. Emotion is powerful, but when somebody controls your emotions, they can control your decisions. So I learned patience, I learned distance, I learned how to leave a situation before it became something bigger. And I learned that protecting yourself doesn't mean living scared, it means respecting consequences. Every choice has one, every road has a price. Every person around you can influence where you end up. So I choose carefully now. I don't need to prove I'm fearless. I just need to make it home. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
No room for fear. No room for fear. But fear still walks with me.
I learned to keep my eyes open
For the things I couldn't see.
No room for fear.
Every choice has a price.
You can't survive the pressure.
If you learn to think twice.
No room for fear.
I don't need to prove a thing.
The smartest man in the room knows when to leave. Fear isn't weakness. Sometimes fear is the voice telling you to survive. Listen to it and keep moving. And keep moving.
I remember the day, everything disappeared. Money, friends, trust, plans for a minute. I thought losing everything meant I had nothing left. Then I realized I still had myself. And sometimes that's where rebuilding begins. I woke up to an empty room, phone full of silence. No messages, no calls, just the weight of the consequences. People who said forever suddenly became strangers. Funny how loyalty gets tested when the situation changes. I had people around me when the table had food. When the money came in and everything looked good, then the pressure hit hard and the room got smaller. One by one, everybody found a reason to disappear. I wasn't angry, I was watching. Because sometimes losing people is the only way you find out who they were. One called me family, another called me brother. But when I needed somebody, I couldn't find either. That's when I stopped measuring loyalty by words. I started measuring it by presence. Who answered, who showed up, who stayed, who suddenly became too busy. The answers hurt, but they also made things clear.
They left me with nothing,
So I built from the floor.
lost the people I trusted,
Found out what they were worth.
they left me with nothing.
Thought I'd never rise again.
But sometimes losing everybody,
Shows you who you really are within.
one of them came back months later.
Acting like nothing happened, talking about old memories, talking about the good times. I listened, didn't argue, didn't insult him. Then he asked if I could help. That's when I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, because some people only remember your number when they need something. I told him the truth.
Where were you when I had nothing?
He didn't answer, there was nothing to say. That's the thing about betrayal, you don't always need revenge. Sometimes you just need distance. Let people live with the choices they made. Let time explain what you couldn't. I stopped trying to convince people that I was worth keeping. If someone wants to leave, open the door. Because holding somebody in your life who already decided to abandon you is another way of abandoning yourself. Nothing left, nobody calling. Nothing left, nobody calling. Still breathing, still building, building. Nothing left, nobody calling. Still breathing, still building, building.
Did the rebuilding took longer than I expected. No miracle, no sudden breakthrough. Just small wins, one bill paid, one problem solved. One morning where I didn't feel completely lost. That's how it starts. Not with everything changing, with one thing becoming better, then another, then another. Eventually I looked around and realized I had built something nobody could take from me. Not because I became rich, Not because everybody came back, because I stopped needing them. No, that's freedom. When somebody leaves, you don't have to chase them. When somebody betrays you, you don't have to become bitter. When life takes everything, you don't have to believe you're finished. Sometimes the empty room is exactly what you needed. No distractions, no fake loyalty, no people pretending to care. Just you, your mistakes, your future, and another chance.
They left me with nothing,
but nothing gave me space.
space to think, space to grow, space to build something real.
And now, I don't fear losing people the way I used to, because I've already learned something important.
I can lose almost everything
And still rebuild.
They left me with nothing, so I built from the floor. Lost the people I trusted, found out what they were worth. They left me with nothing, thought I'd never rise again.
But sometimes losing everybody
Shows you who you really are within.
They left me,
with nothing.
and I still became strong. Sometimes the people who leave you are the reason you finally move on. They thought they took everything. They didn't. They left me with the one thing I needed, a reason to rebuild. They left me with nothing.
There are nights you remember without trying. Not because something happened that you wanted, but because everything could have gone differently. We were young. We thought we understood the streets. We didn't. We were just learning how expensive one mistake could become.
Midnight on the avenue, headlights cutting through the rain. 3 shadows in the car, everybody feeling the same. Nobody said much, but everybody knew the tension. One wrong move tonight could turn the moment into a sentence. We had somewhere to be,
Somebody waiting,
but halfway there I noticed something wasn't right. Same car behind the same distance, same turns. I looked at my brother, he looked back, no words. Just that feeling, the kind that makes your stomach tighten when your instincts start talking louder than everybody else. We didn't know who was following, didn't know why, so we kept moving. No panic, no stupid decisions, just trying to make it somewhere safe. Because sometimes survival isn't about winning, it's about refusing to make the situation worse.
we couldn't go home, so we kept driving. Every turn we took had us wondering who was hiding. We couldn't go home, had to wait for the night. Sometimes making it tomorrow means knowing when to leave tonight.
We took another road, then another. The car behind us disappeared. Maybe it was nothing, maybe it wasn't. That's the problem with living on instinct. You never know which feeling saved you and which one kept you awake. We finally pulled somewhere public, lights everywhere, people around, the pressure started fading. That's when one of us finally spoke. He said,
Man, I thought we were done.
Nobody laughed,
because we all thought it. That night taught me something. Courage isn't pretending you aren't scared. Courage is staying clear-headed while you're scared. Anybody can make a reckless decision when adrenaline takes over. The hard part is thinking, choosing to exit, choosing tomorrow, choosing life over pride. Stay calm. Read the room, choose the exit, make it home.
Years later, I still think about that night. Not because I know exactly who was behind us. I don't.
maybe it was nothing,
Maybe it was something we never understood.
but that's not the lesson.
The lesson was how
quickly fear can turn into a bad decision. One person wants to confront, another wants to run, another wants to pretend nothing is happening. And somewhere between those choices, you have to think clearly. I watch people let pride choose for death. I watch anger take over. I watch somebody turn a small situation into something they couldn't undo. I refuse to be that person. That night changed how I move. I don't need to look dangerous, I don't need to prove anything. I need to recognize when something feels wrong and respect that feeling. Because survival isn't about having no fear, it's about not letting fear control you. The streets taught me awareness, life taught me patience, and that night taught me something I never forget.
getting home safely is sometimes the biggest victory you'll ever have.
We couldn't go home, so we kept driving. Every turn we took had us wondering who was hiding. We couldn't go home, had to wait for the night. Sometimes making it tomorrow means knowing when to leave tonight.
But eventually morning came, and when the sun came up, we were still here to see the day. Some nights you don't win, you just survive. And sometimes that's enough. 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 That's enough.
They call it cold. I call it survival. When you watch people disappear, and you've seen loyalty change hands, you stop expecting the world to be fair. You learn to keep your eyes open, because out here, trust can be worth more than money. They call it. I grew up watching grown men gamble with tomorrow, trying to feed a family while drowning in their sorrow. Everybody wanted something, everybody had a reason, but pressure makes a person show the truth behind the speeches. I saw brothers turn against each other over pride. Saw a handshake become a problem nobody could hide. Saw people promise loyalty then vanish when it mattered, like the bond meant nothing once the situation shattered. I kept my circle tight, never needed many, because one real person beats a room full of empty promises. I learned to read silence, learn to watch behavior, learn that somebody's character shows up when there's nothing they can gain. That's the street lesson nobody teaches you.
You learn it when it's too late.
No love for the weak, that's what the streets taught me. But I learned something deeper, the strong don't have to be angry. No love for the weak, still I kept my soul. I survived the cold without letting the cold take control. There was a time I thought respect meant being feared, thought nobody could touch you if everybody knew your name. I was wrong, fear disappears, respect lasts. And respect isn't something you demand, it's something your actions build. I watched a man lose everything because he couldn't control his temper. Every problem became a challenge, every challenge became a war. Eventually there was nobody left beside him. That's when I understood you can win every argument and still lose your entire life. So I started choosing my battles. Some insults don't deserve an answer, some people don't deserve your energy. Some situations aren't worth proving anything. You don't have to react just because somebody wants a reaction. That's real strength, knowing you could and choosing not to.
Stay calm, stay sharp, protect your peace, protect your name.
No love for the weak, no love for the weak. No love, no love, no love for the weak. No love for the weak, no love for the weak. No love. I've lost people, I've lost people.
I've lost people, I've lost opportunities. I've lost years trying to understand people who never wanted to be understood. But I gained perspective, now I know what matters. My word, my family, my future, my ability to wake up every morning and still recognize myself. That's worth more than reputation, more than money, more than being the toughest person in the room.
Because eventually, everybody gets tested, everybody gets tired, everybody faces something they can't intimidate. And when that moment comes, your character is all you have left. So I don't walk around pretending I'm invincible. I know life can change overnight. I know people can betray you, I know plans can collapse. But I've been through enough to know I can rebuild. That's why I don't fear losing what isn't real anymore. If you leave, go. If you betray me, that's your choice. If you doubt me, watch. I don't need revenge, I need progress. Because the best answer to people who underestimated you is becoming someone they can no longer recognize. Not colder, not crueler, stronger, wiser, harder to manipulate. That's what survival gave me.
No love for the weak,
That's what the streets taught me.
but I learned something deeper. The strong don't have to be angry. No love for the weak,
Still I kept my soul. I survived the cold.
without letting the cold take control. No love for the weak,
I don't need to prove I'm tough. I've survived enough nights to know that I survived enough. The world can make you cold if you let it. I chose something harder. I stayed human.